What is going on? It is Daniel with Cuervo TV. And today we are going to talk about a no-code misfire, breakup, loss of power condition that was pretty interesting to figure out. I did have to put this one on the dyno and run it to really see what was going on. Not this bike in particular, just kind of showing this one, something we're working on here recently. Another one we just finished up, some heads that are ready to go out to guys. But so we had a bike that the customer said and a little bit was lost in translation, but where they were riding the bike and it just completely dies, but not shuts off. So they're accelerating or trying to accelerate and it just lays over. So first thing you kind of think, it's like, well, maybe the fuel pump is going bad, not putting out enough pressure. But took a look at the spark plug and normally it would show bright white that it was leaning out. Had no problems there. Next thing we check is vent hose, kind of same thing. If the vent hose, if it has one of the one-way check valve adapters, I don't recommend those. I hate those things. But they get like little grains of sand and dirt in them and lock up and cause problems. But all that looked good. We go check ignition, check battery connections, all that kind of stuff. Still no code. So I get it on the dyno. We start running through the gears a little bit. And as soon as you go into about half throttle or so and get up above 5,000 RPM, like it completely shuts down. It doesn't misfire. It's like somebody reached over and turned the key off. You let off the throttle and it comes back on. So it's pretty interesting. Well, we found out on it, and this is a different component here, not off the same machine, but just to show you, this is a stator. And this is the pickup coil on the stator. This is what's telling your ECU where the engine's at for top dead center. Now, if you can see there is quite a bit of metal debris buildup across that terminal. Now, I see a lot of these very similar to this. I always clean them when we do an engine, but I've yet to had one fail. Now this one, I pulled it off. I checked a couple other sensors and connections and kind of went through everything. The bike did have a new harness on it from a few months ago, so I skipped over a lot of that stuff knowing the harness was new. But pull off the stator and it had a bit more debris here of metal. And these are just like really thin shavings. Some of it, there's a couple little material, but that's built up over time. This one's pretty bad. The other one was worse than that. As soon as I cleaned it, put it back on, then boom, bike runs perfect. So it's just kind of very interesting. If you go like this, grab a magnet, you can get the majority of that off, because the magnet you're putting on there is stronger than the one that's there. But cleaning that real quick. So if you ever have an engine doing something in a similar fashion that won't take throttle, that is one place to check. So simple thing, basically it is losing its ability to push voltage output because it's just shorting across the terminals there. So instead of seeing that AC signal output, it's very flat line. Very interesting though, the bike started and idled like normal. Now once I fixed the problem and cleaned that off, the bike actually idled quite a bit higher and I had to turn it down. So it was affecting it at idle, but it was over a slow period of time that it had built up to where the customer had turned up idle slowly over time to compensate, not knowing that there was a problem going on. But all right, that is it for today. Something there to check when you're doing work on your bikes, or if you have any mechanical failure inside the engine. Always want to clean the stator off. All right, guys, on to the next one.